Hey guys, and welcome to your daily mobility flow. We're going to start today's stretching session with our quads and hips. So we're going to go one lunge, one foot up to your heel. We've done this once this week already, but it's good for you. That's why you stretch. It's like being like, I already exercised this week. What? So it doesn't mean don't do it again. It's silly math. Silly math. So yeah, we're just working hip, adding the heel. You can take away the stretch by relaxing this or by sitting back a little further. The further down you get with your hips and the more heel you add, the bigger that'll stretch your quads and your hips. Your quads are actually a hip flexor. They're a weak hip flexor. They're not like your psoas or anything like that, but they do create hip flexion. So by adding knee extension, no, by adding knee flexion with hip extension, we can stretch the quads. Because those are the opposite motions the quads create. Quads create knee extension and hip flexion. So when we do the opposite of those two things, knee flexion, hip extension, the quads stretch because they get shorter when they create the motion the other way. All right, let's change sides. We're gonna hit a little 2-rounder today. We're gonna work through a couple of movements. We're gonna do 2 rounds through today instead of one thing and then one thing and then one thing and then being done. So lean in. You can hold on to a pole or a wall or a chair here. It feels more comfortable. Just make sure you can feel this stretch. So now what we're going to do is drop that foot back to the ground. We're going to straighten the knee and we're going to lean into this hamstring. So we're going to start kind of propped up like this. Get a little lean in for a couple of seconds. And then we're going to push that heel out just a touch. And we're going to keep working the heel and the knee away from each other. About 5-10 seconds and then slide. You should be feeling this in your hamstrings, which are on the back side of the leg. Your hamstrings are knee flexors and weak hip extenders, which means that when we extend the knee but flex the hip, the opposite of what the hamstrings do, the hamstrings stretch. Super, super simple. Everybody overcomplicates how the body works. Make sure you're kind of working your angles here, side to side, in and out. Like right there, that's a really big hamstring stretch for me by coming in and taking it down. Get a real deep stretch there. All right, keep working it out. If you do the full splits, brag about it in the comments. I want to know. See, I'm all nervous today. I'm all nervous today because a very good friend of mine named Shayna followed the channel yesterday, which is awesome. Thank you. She is like just a ridiculous dancer. I mean, she's ridiculous at it. Which coincidentally makes her pretty, I'm assuming, pretty flexible. Most dancers are pretty flexible. Never seen her stretch or anything, but I'm all insecure with my stretching today. I feel like Shayna should be teaching this. All right, keep reaching in. I'm about the end of my range for at least hamstring. So we're gonna change sides. Or we started here with the heel, but when we switched side, we stayed there. So we're gonna start hamstring on this side. So I'm gonna sit back, knee and heel kind of close together. Lean in, relax. Just feel the stretch in the hamstring, and then we're gonna 5-10 seconds. We're gonna slide that heel out a little bit at a time. Same thing, just kind of follow your own pattern, your own feel. If you're more tight, don't slide out as far, little smaller steps. If you're, a full splitter, that's what your jam is, then you can make a little further strides than the rest of us. Forget to work your angles. Like, why opening my chest up like that and going down works? I don't know, but it does. It's not too bad. I mean, it's no split or nothing, but geez. Do a little fake split, drop this knee down. All right, let's rest out of that, one of these numbers. Like, oh yeah, look, I just did a split. Oh, that kind of hurt, but it's not a split. All right, we're gonna work your ankles. So, you can stand for this, kneel for this, whatever you like. We're gonna hold the toe, sit for this, obviously. We're gonna keep the toe back, and we're gonna slowly straighten the leg. We're gonna let that carry the upper body out. Keep the toe back. If you push the toe forward, your calf won't stretch. So keep that toe back and work it out until you feel that stretch in the calf. And come back in, reset. We want to reset because naturally, as the muscle starts to stretch, it's going to want to push the other direction. And we want to make sure we're staying with that calf more than anything. Pull back. Doesn't matter if you get your knee straight. You should feel stretch in your calf. You can work it a little side to side. Find some different angles. Oh yeah. Burns. So your calves are plantar flexors of the ankle, so they push the toe down like this. They push the top of the foot away from the shin. That's how you flex your calf. So when we add the dorsiflexion, the opposite movement, thing is the calves cross the knee too. They're a knee flexor. So when we add tension at the bottom by stretching, and then we push the knee out, the calves stretch because it's the opposite of the motion that they create. All right, switch sides. Same thing here. Just gonna start in, slide out. I don't know why I told you, I guess you could do this kneeling still. I don't know why I told you should do this standing. That's not a good idea. Just sit down, just do what I'm doing. You gotta pay attention. I let my ankle go on that one and I didn't get that calf. It might help to actively think about this muscle in the front of your shin called your anterior tib, and go ahead and pull up, add the pressure, but keep pulling that on. That'll somewhat inhibit the use of your calves to tense up, and it'll help them stretch. And if you start to lose that tension there, I'm losing this tension, just pull back, reset. All right, one more. There's the money. Okay, we're gonna get your adductors now, so the muscles that run on the inside of your thighs. Adduction is when you bring your leg towards your body. Abduction is when it goes away. Abduction, adduction, right? So if the adductors bring the knees towards the midline, then when we take them away from the midline, they'll stretch. So I'm gonna slide out into an open knee position, and then I'm gonna work back, kind of sit back towards my feet, and then rock forward, and the whole time I'm just trying to let my knees kind of slowly ease out into the ground. If you like your feet a little more narrow like mine, it's great. If you want them a little wider, it's fine too. I don't know, just that wider heel position like this feels awkward to me. I don't know, it doesn't feel like I have control. It's a good stretch, but if I don't feel in control of a stretch, then I don't feel safe in a stretch. If I don't feel safe in a stretch, then I'm not gonna relax enough to get a good stretch. So I like this extra point of contact with the ground with my toes down, but I'm also a toe curler. Like my toes curl. I tuck my toes, toe tucker. That's a better way to put it. That's what my wife calls me. She'll walk in the room, she'll be like, "You're such a toe tucker." Out of context, that's a weird thing to say. What I mean is, I'll sit like this a lot. Like I'll just tuck my toes in under my feet. Like I'll sit in a chair like that when I don't have shoes on. And I just constantly, like my toes are constantly rolled under like that. Why? I have no idea, but it's true. I tuck my toes all the time. So I don't know, maybe that's just that. I like here being in this kind of feet together position like this in order to tuck my toes. And like this, my toes are exposed. It's a good stretch though. Good, all right. I'm gonna walk it out. Lay down, hinge up. We're gonna do a little combined seal position, as we call it, because this looks like a seal. Not its proper name. We're gonna push back and we're gonna do a cat camel. So it's gonna go like this. We're gonna push back, flex, come back, cat camel, cat cow. And then we're gonna sit back down. Drop the hips, shoulders up. So I got flexion and extension in these. So I got extension, I'm gonna push back in a little low back flexion. Come back to quadruped, go back into extension. For our cow, flexion. For our cat, and then we're gonna sink the hips back in. All right, let's do 2 more of those. Sit back. Quadruped, cow, cat. 1 more. Hips in, seal. You can make the noise, it's okay. Nobody will make fun of you. Sit back. Child's pose, little cow, little cat. All right, I told you we're gonna do 2 rounds of that, but that felt like the right amount of time. I actually have no idea how long it was, but it felt like the time that we kind of aim for, 10 to 12 minutes, sometimes 15. So I'm gonna call it there. If you feel good, you wanna do a whole other round, just click play again. I will thank you for it later. Just double play it, that'd be awesome. Double like it too. No, don't double like it. I think if you click like twice, it unlikes it. So like it 1 time, comment if you can, subscribe if you haven't. Thank you guys. You're the bomb. I will see you all on Monday. Later.